Welcome to Wawasan Wire. Today we're talking about Khairy's potential return to the United Malays National Organization. This is quite the development, really. Khairy Jamaluddin, the former youth chief, expelled back in January 2023. And now, well, it looks like there are serious talks about him coming back into the fold at the United Malays National Organization.
It's definitely more than just, burying the hatchet. When someone like Khairy, who is very publicly pushed out, signals he wants back in, it suggests the leadership, specifically Dato Seri Ahmad, Zahid Hamidi, sees value there.
Value inside the party rather than outside, maybe.
Precisely. It shifts the whole dynamic, doesn't it? Who shapes the narrative? Who connects with voters, especially looking ahead?
Okay, so let's get into how this started, because honestly, it sounds almost like a scene from a movie. Not some formal meeting, but an informal chat at a wedding.
Yeah, a wedding ceremony up in Perlis, apparently. It really highlights how sometimes, the big political moves start quietly, maybe over a plate of nasi minyak, as you said.
So it wasn't a planned negotiation in a boardroom.
Not at all. It's that face-to-face personal touch that often comes first here. And what we're hearing from, well, reliable sources is that Khairy himself told the United Malays National Organization president Zahid right there that he wanted to discuss returning.
He approached the president directly.
Verbally expressed the wish, yes. Showed that respect, laid that groundwork for maybe fixing things.
Right, okay. So the intent was stated, words were exchanged between the two main figures, but, and this is important, I think, no actual forms filled out yet. No paperwork submitted to HQ.
Correct. As far as we know, it's purely at the verbal stage right now. Everything kind of hinges on whether Zahid gives the green light for the process to actually begin, and then, of course, the party mechanisms.
But the fact that it happened between them, that carries weight, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Even if informal, the players involved make it serious. And reports suggest Khairy's potential return already has that sort of initial agreement, specifically from the president.
Ah, the initial agreement. That's the key political nod, isn't it? The signal that the door isn't completely shut.
Exactly. Without that, any application would probably just sit in a drawer. It clears the first hurdle.
So if Zahid has given this initial blessing, what's the next step supposed to be?
Well, the understanding is that the president has asked Khairy to actually submit the formal application documents, go through the proper channels to get his membership restored.
Okay, so follow the procedure. Shows the president is still directing the traffic, procedurally at least.
That's the mechanism, yes.
Yeah.
But there's more to it politically. You got someone like Rizal American, an UMNO's Supreme Council member, who was actually sitting with Khairy at that same wedding.
Right. I saw reports about that.
And he came out saying that, despite the expulsion, Khairy's loyalty and love for the party are still there. That helps build the case internally, signal some readiness to welcome him back.
But there's always a but in politics, isn't there?
Always. Rizal himself pointed it out. While Zahid might pave the way, the final official decision, that belongs solely to the UMNO Supreme Council.
Ah, the Supreme Council. The ultimate gatekeepers. So even Zahid's support isn't a guarantee.
Not a rubber stamp, no. The council represents different factions, different interests within the party. They have to ratify it. And you can bet the vote could become, well, a point of leverage for other leaders.
Leverage, or maybe a way to make sure Khairy's return doesn't upset their own plans too much.
Could be. It ensures the decision is collective, at least on paper, and allows the broader leadership to weigh in.
Okay, so the moment this news even hints at becoming public, the rumor mill must have gone absolutely wild.
Instantly. Before anything was confirmed, you had these huge speculations flying around about what Khairy would do next, what role he'd get.
We probably need to address those directly. What were the big ones?
Two main ones really took off. First, the claim that Khairy was already lined up to contest the Kepala Batas parliamentary seat.
Kepala Batas, that's significant. Why that specific seat?
Because it's Abdullah Badawi's traditional stronghold, the former PM, and Khairy's father-in-law. Pegging him to that seat immediately implies a huge comeback, a safe seat, almost like being granted favor at the highest level.
Signaling immediate rehabilitation. Okay, and the second rumor?
The second one was that Khairy had already been tapped to help out with the Barrison national campaign for the upcoming Save a State elections.
So putting him straight into a major operational role, showing immediate trust.
Exactly. It suggested he wasn't just back in the party, but back in the strategic planning right away.
But the word from those supposedly involved is neither of those is true.
That seems to be the firm line. The sources close to the situation insist that meeting was purely about exploring the possibility of rejoining, showing respect to the president. They claim to have no idea where the Kapalabatas or Saba campaign stuff came from, strictly about membership.
Right. So why would the leadership even consider bringing him back now, potentially stirring things up? What's the strategic value?
Well, you have to look at what Kerry's been doing since he was expelled. He
Mm.
hasn't just disappeared. He co-hosts that podcast, Out for a Moment, with Sharil Hamdan, who's also been sidelined by UMNO.
And that podcast is, well, it's huge, isn't it? In the Malaysian context.
It really is. We're talking nearly 400,000 subscribers, millions of views. It's become a major platform for political discussion, and crucially, it's independent of party structures. Khairy has maintained visibility, influence, arguably even enhanced it.
Which is quite rare to build that kind of platform outside the traditional party system here.
Very rare. And that's the political capital UMNO might be trying to bring back into the tent. Khairy connects with demographics. The party struggles with younger voters, urbanites. People may be a bit cynical about established politics.
So bringing him back isn't just about getting Khairy Jamaluddin, the politician. It's about potentially accessing his audience, his communication channel.
I think that's a huge part of the calculation. It's a way to maybe co-opt that influence, especially the youth outreach part. It addresses a perceived weakness for UMNO head-on.
Okay, let's game this out a bit. For Zahid, as party president, bringing Khairy back, it feels like a calculated risk. What are the upsides versus the downsides internally?
The immediate upside. You potentially neutralize a prominent critical voice from the outside. Khairy and Jaril haven't exactly been quiet. Bringing them back, or at least Khairy, puts that commentary back under the party umbrella, potentially.
Strengthens discipline, projects unity maybe, especially to coalition partners.
Could be part of it. Showing a willingness to reconcile, to bring back talent. But the downside, well, that's obvious.
Friction. What about the other leaders, especially younger ones, who stay loyal, who've been waiting in line? Suddenly Khairy walks back in.
Exactly. That's the tightrope Zahid has to walk. He needs to manage the expectations, the potential resentment from those who might see this as Khairy jumping the queue after being expelled. It's classic factional management.
And Khairy himself is ambitious. Everyone knows that.
No question. So while Zahid might be opening the door now, he must believe he can manage Khairy's influence once he's back inside. Ensure Khairy adds strength without immediately becoming a destabilizing force or, a direct challenger down the line.
It's a high-stakes gamble for party unity and control, then.
Very much so.
So where does that leave us right now? We've got the verbal okay from the president. Seems like the engine is starting. But the formal paperwork, the Supreme Council vote, those are still pending.
That's the current state of play. And the timing rumor is interesting, too, that they might aim to finalize this in the next month or so, potentially before the Sabah state election.
Which would make sense, wanting to present a united front before a key election.
It fits strategically. But the bigger picture here is the precedent. You have a major figure expelled, now being courted back. Given his history, and critically, this media platform he built outside the party, what happens when he's back in?
That's the real question, isn't it? What impact does he have on UMNO's internal power balance? Does he become a loyal soldier, or does his influence inevitably make him a future contender, maybe sooner rather than later?
And how does that ripple outwards onto the national stage? That's something for everyone watching Malaysian politics, including you listening, to really think about as this unfolds. Will his return ultimately strengthen the party or introduce new complications?
Lots to watch in the coming weeks and months. What do you think about Khairy's potential return and its implications? Let us know your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this.